Creation, the truth can align with any lie, no matter how you would place it. The son of man's like scatter flock. The kids, people like pass a lot. Who preach the truth with no mask and not spread fear and hate for an aftershock. Millions lost cause the faith is shook. The pandemic threw a major hook, just like the punch that Nader took. The sound alone is what made you look for a place you can run to. Safe from devils that will hunt you. Say you're not ready, but he's on yo. So please shine bright like the sun do. Ooh, wondering why many churches are closed. Illiberal policies going unopposed. Stand up in faith and the vanity goes. On progress I'm working, but he already knows.
When I can't find the words to say what I feel, what I discern. When the devil tries to persuade me, God will work wonders. When I can't find the words to say what I feel, what I discern. When the devil tries to persuade me, God will work wonders.
Yeah. Here come that devil again. Must be a lib always meddling. He knows I ain't gon' let him in. I ain't a beta male, I ain't feminine. I got the medicine, I don't play. I ain't better than I won't sway. I like melanin, I'm an elephant. I'ma tell the truth and no shame. Y'all think I'ma just fold. I'ma fight the fight, I won't roll. I'ma light the light and my light is bright, cause I know that I'm not alone. I'm in my zone, he's on the throne. I'm not confused, he's on my dome. I ain't no rat, ain't no Democrat. I am a God, he never will cap, okay? Mask off and stop fearing. Grab a job and move your rear end. Take a look at my past, I was freaking. In fact, got my foot on the gas and he's steering. Whoa. Now when the devil talking, please don't run. Snatch that coward by the throat and tell him I'm with the sun. He'll leave you alone for a little, but he coming for you. Just put your faith in him, cause God could work wonders for you, okay?
When I can't find the words to say what I feel, what I discern. When the devil tries to persuade me, God will work wonders. When I can't find the words to say what I feel, what I discern. When the devil tries to persuade me, God will work wonders.
Yeah. He's working wonders now. No wonder it's working out. Previously tongue-tied when it comes time to speak up for what I deserve. Back when I couldn't find the words. In this life I learned if I observe, then I'll discern the lies they hide behind the curtains. In the circus to define the word that's in verse where I find the courage. And when I am heard, I'll be sure that my pride is earned. Picture Reese sitting in a scene where he didn't speak. Everybody looking at him like kid's a freak. Literally paralyzed by history. Perpetuated in defeat, but in retreat. See, he turned his weakness to his Herculean word served to ensure his freedom. And the shackles that bound him converted in purpose. A perch down beneath him observing the beacon. Picture me spitting this flow to the masses. Four out of thrown up this globe is drastic. We put our soul in this, but never sold for this. Trevor and Topher, no holding us captive. Devil's been known to control us with tactics. Motives exposing and focus the faction. We put our soul in this, but never sold for this. Trevor and Topher, you know it's a classic.
When I can't find the words to say what I feel, what I discern. When the devil tries to persuade me, God will work wonders. When I can't find the words to say what I feel, what I discern. When the devil tries to persuade me, God will work wonders.
When you tell me how they think it, they reduce it to my melanin. Like it didn't pay the cost, so my brother took a loss for your chance of the donkey or the elephant, but neither one is relevant. This is for the blacks or the whites that are coming off arrogant. Calling me a traitor for not following, I heard it's absurd, and I heard that it's even more prevalent when you don't understand what I've been through. And blood don't tell me who I'm kin to. That's determined in by the friends who share the same values as me. Don't pretend to act like you know everything that I need. Conservative in the way I believe, regardless of whatever you may perceive. I'm black and nobody can take that from me.
Don't attack me cause I ain't no Democrat. Said don't attack me cause I ain't Republican. Yeah, I'm still black. Yeah, I'm still black.
Go. Welcome to Plausible Foolishness. I am one of the two kings of the Rube Empire. And with me is the other king, of course. We are the two kings of the Rube Empire. And I've lost my mind because Dusty's image is frozen on the screen. So, let me try
No. Do not fix that. That stays. I want Dusty's face. It says audio is garbled.
My audio is still garbled.
Gobbledygook.
This is so... I think this board is just altogether dying. Give me a second.
Give him a second, Death Hunter. Yeah, I don't want you fixing the I don't want you fixing the picture because we have him in spirit. And the fact that this will be on the show the whole time makes it even better. You know what I'm saying?
Is it still garbled?
Death Hunter, what do we got? Thumbs up, thumbs down, thumbs in between, middle fingers up. Man. Hey, just restart. We'll restart, bro.
No. There's nothing to restart. That's not going to...
Okay, gotcha. I don't know these things, man. I'm not that smart. Listen, bro. I'm just a guy. Oh, man. I'm just very excited that Dusty's face is going to be that picture, that specific picture, the entire episode. That makes me happy. It makes me happy.
Okay, what about now? Better?
What about now, Death Hunter?
Because what's weird is that you guys hear me just fine.
Yeah, I hear you fine. I hear you completely fine. So I just want to make sure it's accurate. Death Hunter, what do we got, bro? Sorry. Dusty is permanently on this episode. That's what we need to do. Like every episode, somehow you're going to just have a picture of me like doing something absurd and just like keep me in the segment, man. Dusty. Dusty. All right, get started, bro. Let's get this.
Anyway, I'm the Philosopher King. Ivory Tower, the mad scientist man. I've got a perspective on things.
Ladies and gentlemen, sometimes I sit alone in my room and I think maybe I'm just too demanding. You know, maybe I'm just like my father, too cold. Maybe I'm just like my mother. Maybe I'm just not satisfied. But of course, I'm not Prince. I am the strong one, the people's champ, the people's choice, the one, the only. Ready to rock today. And ladies and gentlemen, I'm very excited. If you're watching the live version right now, you are seeing the sexiest compilation of beards and glasses you've ever seen in your entire life. And Dusty's not on the show, but his face is on the show. So Dusty automatically gets an honorary Dusty from me. So I'm very excited about that today. But we got a jam-packed show today. We're not going to go super long today, but we got a lot to talk about because Matt, it's Black History Month. You know what I mean? And I just can't think of anything better to associate with the Black community than crack pipes. You know, I think crack pipes are just the symbol of the Black experience in America. So it is unbelievable. So Dusty is doing the mannequin challenge like a pro. That's impressive. If Dusty can really do that in real life, that'd be awesome. But we got so much to talk about with this proposed legislation from the Biden administration that was revealed during Black History Month as a way of getting equity for the African American community. Now, I'm half Black, so I can honestly look you guys all in the face and say I've never done crack, not once in my life. And if I ever felt like I was oppressed or unequal, I don't think that smoking crack would cover the distance, if you know what I'm saying. So, but if you haven't seen this legislation, it is hilarious. There's a few different angles I want to take with this, but first and foremost, the memes have been absolutely priceless. Some of the memes are unbelievable. One is the classic where they superimpose Biden's face on the black guy doing the thinker, think about it. And, they won't think about high gas prices, inflation, or empty shelves when they're smoking crack. And I was like, yeah, that totally makes sense. There's just been so many, it's just unreal. But here's what's grinding my gears about this legislation, obviously beyond the racism, beyond the fact that we are now we're affirming drug use. I got fact checked for posting articles about this, Matt. Meta,
Okay.
Facebook, Instagram proceeded to tell me that I was not telling the truth, that Biden wasn't giving $30 million to safely allow druggies to smoke heroin through crack pipes. And I was like, okay, cool.
Okay.
So maybe I've got this wrong. Maybe the fact checkers this time might be telling the truth. So I read their argument. Okay, I read their dissenting argument, just like the Supreme Court would put out, right, for a law. And this is what it essentially stated. Matt, you ready for it? Listen,
Yes.
the bill proposed is for the safe use of drugs, and by no means is handing out free crack pipes. It does other things too.
So it's not just free crack pipes. You're limiting the scope of this bill.
Yes. So
Okay.
It was false, that Biden's handing out crack pipes, because I didn't include the other things in the bill other than the crack pipes. So
Gotcha.
it's essentially Planned Parenthood saying, hey, listen, we don't kill and mutilate babies. That's crazy.
We do that, and we do breast exams, and
We do other things too. You know what I mean? It's
which they don't actually do.
exactly. But it just, the semantics is unbelievable. So they're already trying to spin control this because it's already a really, really, really bad look. Let's get real. The Biden administration is. Did you ever see Kung Pao? Bro, did you ever see Kung Pao?
Yes.
Okay. You remember the character Wimp Lo in Kung Pao?
Oh gosh, it's been a long
Okay.
time now.
Wimp Lo is the character that they trained to suck at fighting, and they taught him that when he was losing, he was actually winning.
Okay.
So anytime the Kung Pao guy would fight him, like Wimp Lo would be like, I'm gonna get you, Kung Pao, and he'd get his butt kicked, and he's like, I'm winning so good, I'm winning. This is the Biden administration. Listen, we ended the war in Afghanistan by getting 13 of our guys killed, leaving billions of dollars worth of equipment and marooning 9,000 plus Americans in Afghanistan, which are still there, by the way. But we won. That's a win.
We're winning.
We're winning, yeah. Like we're beating racism by just opening our borders and allowing people to come into our country unvetted and participating, with the cartels, with human trafficking as we speak. That's a policy win for America. We've essentially won the war on drugs by handing out free crack pipes. Yeah, we win. Yeah. And in a couple weeks, we will have defeated COVID-19, even though it still exists, it's still here, and it's just a bad flu, but we didn't do anything to beat it. And a month ago, Biden said there's no federal solution to beating COVID, but he'll announce the win. As you know, by their own statistics, he killed more people than Trump and didn't do anything about it whatsoever. But yay, we win! Like, it's hilarious to me. So it's Wimplo, and it's really funny. You know what I mean? So, and it couldn't happen to a better puppet. You know what I mean? So, but hey, $30 million of your money and my money, Matt, will now be helping druggies smoke heroin better.
Yay!
But remember, it's under the guise of racial equity.
Yeah.
Because only black people smoke crack.
I'm okay with legalizing drugs.
I have no problem with it.
Yeah.
just don't wanna speak
I'm
dirty
not
money.
okay with the government paying for people to be able to use drugs.
Exactly. Like, listen.
And then to offer the thing that ravaged the black community in the 80s when he was, doing signing the crime bill.
And hanging out with KKK members.
Yeah, and hanging out with KKK members is a pretty bad look.
Well,
Pretty bad look for Black History Month.
I mean, it would be.
But
Yeah,
we get to make the title of the show, nothing says Black History Month like free crack pipes. So that's fun.
Like, you know how, like, Trump, the symbol of Trump was the red hats? The red MAGA hats? Biden's symbol is going to be, Dave Chappelle's character, the crackhead. That's what his symbol is going to be for this administration. It's like, good job, man. Let's play devil's advocate here. How do you defend this? Like, how do you positively spin this to get middle America to be cool with this? Because listen, LA, California, they're hellholes. They're going, they're burning in their squalor as we speak. But how do you sell this as not racist, first of all, and as a net positive for America? Like play devil's advocate. Help me out with this one. Sell me on it. That's tough. This is a tough ask.
There's no correct answer because you can't.
Sure.
What they're going to do is the same old talking points of, people are dying in the streets and we just want to make it safe, legal, and rare. Yeah.
So we don't want to actually stop people from dying. We want to help them do it faster, more efficiently, and safer.
Yeah. Yeah.
Jay Winrick said, correction, crack is cocaine, not heroin. Just want to be clear.
Yeah, true.
Sorry, I don't know my drugs. Sorry, man. I get it. Oh, here's the other meme I saw. Take this crack pipe or you ain't black. Did you see that one?
Yes, that one's
I just ain't black enough. Sorry, guys. But defend this for me. And while you're doing it,
that's the best I can. That's the best I can do. Safe, legal, and rare.
I mean, because here's the thing.
They're already doing it, so we just want to make it. We just want to give them a place where they can do it safely, and hopefully we'll keep it rare. And I mean, it's the abortion argument. It's the abortion argument all over again. They're already doing it, but they're doing it in substandard conditions. So if we can provide a place for them to do it, and keep it legal, and then make it safe.
Well, here's
for everybody but the baby.
Sure.
For everybody but the crack addict.
My thing is, why am I paying for your Moloch worship, and why am I paying for your drug addiction? Why do I have to pay for it?
Well, because You have to pay for it because there's enough people who don't understand that when the government funds something that they're paying for.
Yeah. So,
like the most basic element of of economics and government.
I mean, you can take my money and build roads. I'm okay with that. You can take my money and
I mean, I'm still not okay with it. But
listen.
Yeah.
Two sides of the argument. I'm fine with it. I'm totally okay with it. You can take my money and fund weapons of war that will kill lots of people because I want to defend my country and defend where I'm at. I just don't know how you take my money and hand it to a crackhead and make it easier for them to do their drugs. I call me crazy, but that doesn't make a whole lot of sense. It's like, destroying energy independence so we pay more for gas. It's like, abandoning Afghanistan and letting 13 of our guys die and poor Afghanis falling from planes. That just doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me. You know what I mean? I don't know. Masks for, mask mandates for the flu. Doesn't make any sense to me. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, Dusty. I mean, correct me. You know what I mean? So I don't know. Am I crazy?
No, you're not crazy, but the current regime and the mainstream media are pretty decent at gaslighting people into thinking they are crazy.
Yeah.
No, Ray, you are crazy because you just want to see crack addicts dead in the streets.
Well,
that's what you want.
But then here's the other problem, especially for people who, really partake in the idolatry of racism. This is pretty racist to make this one of your gender equity or your racial equity positions. It's not like.
Did they specifically say that? This is a racial equity thing?
The rumor. Here's the deal. I haven't seen the racial equity part. I have not seen that. I will be the first. I will fact check myself. I have not personally seen that. I've heard it. Haven't seen it myself. So, but I have seen the proposed legislation where it says making it safer for you to do drugs, essentially. So, which is interesting during Black History Month. We suspend whoopee and give out crack pipes.
Crack specifically ravaged, and probably to this day still does. 100%. Ravage, inner city.
Well, here's what's funny. During the whole pandemic, they haven't talked about the spike in overdoses. They haven't talked about the spike in heroin use. They just recently let the cat out of the bag. The kids are killing themselves more often, and they only care because little girls are doing it specifically now. Because before, when guys would kill themselves, not a big deal. I mean, it's just a penis and balls. Listen, a womb is more valuable than a penis. We get that. I totally get it. You can repopulate an entire country with one set of balls. But when it comes to when little girls start killing themselves, then it becomes a problem, right? So not saying that there's any discrimination there. But what I will say is no one's talking about the deaths, because I still say this to this day. I don't know a single person who actually died from COVID-19. Now, normally the blue check mark Twitter would be like, you just don't know a lot of people, and you get out there. Listen, hate it or love it, unfortunately, I socialize with too many people. I think, Matt, you can attest to that. It's kind of annoying.
Yes.
Huh?
Yes.
Yeah, it's really pathetic. Now, here's the thing. I know a lot of people still haven't met a single person who died from COVID-19. Now, I'm sure there's people that are out there that have done it. But I know of people who died of overdosing because they were locked in their house in Ohio, couldn't get to rehab, so they just went back to what they know best, and that's doing drugs. They OD'd. That pisses me off. Because if not for this ridiculousness, the nanny state that was perpetrated by rhinos and Democrats alike, specifically Mr. Governor DeWine up in Ohio, one of my friends would still be there. You know what I mean? So, yeah. So C. Winrick says that safer drug use brings less deaths and less hospitalization. I could get on board with that. The problem, though, is the drugs coming into our country are fentanyl. If you drive down Orange Avenue right now, they're talking about. There was a billboard I just saw today on the way to the gym. It was fake drugs, fentanyl. Be careful. So instead of like don't do drugs, it's like, hey, just be careful what drugs you take, because there might be fentanyl. You know, they might just kill you. But sure, I mean that could be an argument. If
we're for the Portugal position on drugs, because I mean there's a clear example of it working.
Yep.
And clearly the war on drugs has not.
I agree.
But this is just particularly.
You got to be one way or the other. You got to be one way or the other.
Yeah.
You either got to be like, hey, listen, do your drugs to your heart's content. And that's fine. Live and let live. Do what you got to do. Just don't do it with my money. Okay. That's our argument. I think we both agree on that, right?
For sure.
I'm not for the war on drugs. I never have been. I think it's the dumbest, most fruitless war there is, other than going to the Middle East and trying to fight a bunch of goat herders or something. Like, it's not going to happen, right? It just is what it is. Do all Black lives matter though? All lives matter. Yes, they do. But the reality of the situation is this: like, why am I paying for this? That's the crux of my position. Why am I paying for your drug use? Does that make sense? What do you think, Big Dog?
I think it makes sense.
I mean,
why am I paying for your drug use? You know, we're not doing any. There's no. I don't. Okay, we're not hearing about anything related to rehabilitation.
No, of course not.
Which is part of the Portugal procedure. You know, they made all drugs legal, and then they took a portion of the budget, like a very small portion of the budget they had been spending in the war on drugs, to pay for to support rehabilitation. Which we could also question, like, why are we paying for that? You know, but you know, I could even get down with that, because the budget on the war on drugs hasn't gone away, and we're paying for people to use drugs. Like, we're just doing all the stupid things.
Mm-hmm. So I guess this is where it comes down to me. It's just, okay, all I'm asking for is consistency. Do you know what I mean? I'm asking for the federal government to just be the federal government. And what I mean by that is just let states decide, okay? If New York, if you want to take your absorbent amount of taxes and give crack pipes away, cool, do your thing. But in Florida, where we live free and clear of this stupidity, why is my money or Matt's money going towards this? Do you know what I mean? True or false? Why is my money going there? Doesn't make sense. Why is my money going towards abortion? I don't understand.
Why is your money going?
Huh?
Why is you, the viewers' money, going there?
Why is your money going to preserving quails out in the middle of whatever? Why is your money going towards some of the stupid research that's going on out there? Why is your money going to NASA right now when they don't actually shoot rockets off right now? It's all Elon Musk. Why is your money going to a lot of these places? It doesn't make any sense whatsoever. You know what I mean? If you want to just legalize drugs, at least Biden, like, I could actually even give Biden a win and say, hey, listen, we're not enforcing drugs anymore. We're not doing that. I'd give him that win. If Biden came out and said,
for sure.
Hey, listen, we've gotten rid of any mandate on drugs, totally cool with that. Let's rock with
it. That would be a check in his
positive.
Yeah, a positive check.
I would give him a high five.
On his ledger.
I'd give him a high five. But you know what?
Mm-hmm.
You can't really make money off of that, you know. If you got to keep those drug task force going, man. You got to keep those. You got to keep paying, paying those positions. The government never ends a program, right? So that's what my fear is for this. Is once you start paying for crack pipes, you don't stop paying for crack pipes. When does it stop?
You just expand.
It just gets bigger. That's how the federal government does every single time.
Mm-hmm.
It never ends.
So now there's no incentive to not do crack.
Huh? Yeah. No.
There's no incentive to rehabilitate.
Why? Just
There's
how?
only incentive to do it more. It's free.
And here's the problem, to Mr. Winrick's position here is eventually you're going to kill yourself doing these drugs. Sorry. It's going to happen. Like, this isn't pot where you just, hey, get high, get the munchies, cool, whatever. You know what I mean? Even the cocaine, you know what I mean? Like, you can OD on that stuff too, but it's like, you're doing crack, right? It usually doesn't end well. Let's get real with ourselves. You know what I mean? So why are we promoting that behavior that kills people? Now, you have the freedom to do that. It's America, right? Just like you have the freedom to jump out of an airplane with a parachute. I think it's stupid. I wouldn't do it. But hey, Matt, if you want to risk your life jumping out of a parachute, go knock yourself out. I just don't want to pay for your jump. Does that make sense? I don't want to pay for it. It's cool. But that's where we are in America right now, man. Crack pipes on Black History Month. You gotta love it. God bless America. We just get stupider and stupider and stupider and stupider. But yeah, man.
Yeah. I got another story.
What do you got?
That we can talk about that I think is it was a controversial story. So I'll start off.
Okay, show me. Keep going.
A Christian pastor from Utah trended nationally on social media for hours on Tuesday over a tweet he posted concerning female modesty. So you know how
No.
I don't know, turbulent that
To
got.
be fair, this could go any way. You got Utah involved in Christian, so but keep going.
No, but he's actually
Okay,
good.
good. Okay. We'll let it ride.
So though Pastor Brian Salve received much support from men and women alike, he became a target for outraged feminists, some of whom sent Salve racy photos of their breasts and other body parts.
Okay.
Dear ladies, started the tweet that's off Twitter. Quote, there is no reason whatsoever for you to post pictures of yourself in low-cut shirts, bikinis, bra and underwear, or anything similar, ever. Not to show your weight loss journey, not to show your newborn baby, not to document your birth story. The post is signed off, your brothers. Right?
Okay.
So he's taking a very hard
Sure.
stance. And I like the your brothers tag, because it's not like, remember, it's like, I love you and I care about you. Here's the thing,
That's controversial.
but definitely controversial. So a mocking Dear Brian hashtag trended for hours after the post was published, and numerous male and female feminists scolded the pastor for having what they characterized as an unwanted opinion about female modesty. The tweet has been quote tweeted nearly 20,000 times.
Good.
Here's a taste of the outrage. I am a proud member of the congregation of the Holy Church of Mind Your Own Damn Business. You should try it sometime. My body, my choice. That's a contributor from MSNBC named Katie Fang.
Who cares? MSNBC, nobody watches
Yeah,
that.
exactly. Pastors like you are why the church is known for misogyny and the subjugation of women more than empathy and equity. Well, the church should never be involved in
We're
that.
not about equity. Sorry.
Not at all. You should try the sacred ministry of minding your own damn business again. So, there's been some collusion there.
Yep.
This is another author. Dear Brian, your invisible sky daddy doesn't care how you like to do it, and neither does anyone else. You repressed weirdo. No one is going to share anything with you, perv. Please get therapy on how to treat women as the human beings we are.
Wait,
blah,
So
blah,
time
blah.
out. He's arguing, hey, you don't need to be a piece of meat. You don't need to show all your goodies. And he's the bad guy. He's the bad guy?
Yeah, definitely. How little control do you have over yourself that you can't tolerate women posting pictures like that? Isn't that always the argument? How little control do you have over yourself? It's not that I can't tolerate it. It's that I'm telling you a message that is for your benefit.
Yeah.
But You know,
I-
you can't see
to
it that way.
to the stupid feminist's point.
Oh, he goes
Yeah,
on.
go ahead.
We really didn't need to know that you're constantly touching yourself and capable of stopping.
Wow.
That was not in the in his tweet at all.
Let's go a little crazy.
But they think that they're so clever. Anyway, continue.
Here's what I would say. Long story short is this. The Bible talks about, like, towards the end of time, men will say things that are good things are evil, evil things are good. Let's get real.
Yeah.
Okay. Do I freak out if I see a chick in a bikini? No. No. But, at the end of the day, like, the problem is Instagram has become a place where the pictures that are being posted now would have been considered pornography back in the day. Let's just get real.
Sure.
Call it is what it is. Obviously, the reality has shifted. Okay, they're not reality, but the threshold has shifted. Because you go back to like the 1920s, and women got like, if they wore a bikini or something to the beach, they get whatever. They get like thrown off the beach. Stuff like that. Okay. Now, here's the reality of the situation. And I hate to do this, but most of those pissed off feminists aren't in happy marriages. They're not. They're miserable and pissed, and they're triggered by a guy who is calling people to be better than they are. So if you're that mad at somebody for saying, hey, maybe we should be better, it's the same thing as if somebody said, hey, listen, fatso, or not fatso, hey, probably we need to like control what we eat so that we're not, we're not dying from diabetes, or whatever it is. Diabetes, okay? And a bunch of fat people getting pissed off, okay? And I say that as the resident fat guy on the show, okay? Is what he's saying false? No, it's not. Probably shouldn't eat as much as I do, okay? To be fair, okay? But I shouldn't get mad about it or freaked out. If your opinion, or, in this case, the truth, triggers you, why would it make you mad? Like think about that. Because the first jeer was the invisible space person that doesn't exist, right? Why would the opinions of someone who believes in something that isn't true make you mad? It stings because it's true. That's usually the rule.
Well,
go ahead.
Let's listen to his reaction.
Okay, I want to hear it.
Which I think is just chef's kiss.
Let's hit it.
Okay, so reacting to the backlash from men and women who would likely identify as liberal feminists, Have posed a question for those who support the Me Too movement, especially those sending him unsolicited sexual images. Quote, quite a few men and women who would likely identify as liberal feminists have recently taken quite the interest in my Twitter account. Welcome. I'm glad you're here. I have a question I'd like your thoughts on. Many of you feel moral indignation at my frank expression of applied Christian sexual ethics. May I ask you a question about your sexual ethics? I'm very clear on mine. Basically a historic Christian sexual ethic. But I'm wondering, are you as clear on yours as you think? Many of you likely use and promote the Me Too movement, yet hundreds of you are sending me unsolicited sexual images and videos. Is that okay now? The pastor asked. I thought your sexual ethic was all about consent. This seems like naked, pun intended, hypocrisy on your part. Giving an example, he outlined, if a man were to send you unsolicited nude pictures or sexually explicit videos of himself, you would rightly judge him as a sexually abusive pervert. But you can do it to me? How does the ethical math work out on that? Maybe your sexual ethics aren't so ethical after all. Here's the thing. You can't even obey your own man-made laws, he slammed. Even with respect to your own standards of right and wrong, you fall short. How much more do you fall short of God's law? Infinitely. That's why, no matter how hard you try, you still feel guilt. You still feel shame. None of us measure up, even to our own standards. We're all hypocrites, sinners, and moral vagabonds. But Christ died for sinners. Trust him and be free. I don't hate you. Sincerely, I don't, he wrote. I hope that you can find freedom from the crippling weight of your sin through Christ.
Amen.
If you're interested, go read the book of Romans and the Gospel of John from the New Testament. You will be in my prayers today. May God's mercy fall on you as it has on me and my house.
Amen.
And that was the end of the thread.
Amen.
Amen, right?
Because let's think about this. If you're so sexually liberated, why would that make you mad?
Yeah.
It,
What authority does he have over you?
it's like when men try to defend not murdering and mutilating babies in the womb. If there's nothing wrong with it, then why are you so mad? Like, why? Why are you mad? I mean, that's the question, right? Because this guy could eloquently put it together. You can't even live up to your own moral standard because you don't have a moral standard. And even if you did, what's it based on? Based on what? What you think? You know,
What you feel?
what you feel? That changes. That shifts all the time. The problem is when you run into absolute truth, it stings. You know, that's just the reality of the situation, man. No, I thought that was great. I thought it was a great dismantling, you know, and obviously pointing it back to the gospel and understanding how much Jesus loves you. You know what I mean? So, but I do find it rich. These so-called feminists and male feminists, they're always the most miserable people on the planet. Why are they so angry?
Yeah.
If they're so liberated and so much better than us, why are they so pissed off? And then I see conservative, Christ-following women in biblical marriages, biblical homes, thriving and way happier. And they're not pissed off.
100%.
It's weird.
It's because they recognize.
Strange.
There's a recognition that is lacking in the hardcore left that many of life's problems are of our own creation.
Yeah. Yep.
And and it seems like on the far left, most of life's problems are someone else's creation being thrust upon them.
Sure.
And it's like, no.
Yeah.
No. Yeah, your freedom. Freedom is an interesting thing because, like, I'm like a freedom maximalist, while at the same time doing my best to restrain myself under the tenets of God's law.
Yeah.
You know.
True freedom is under the tenets of God's law, though. Because if you
Exactly.
subvert it, you're literally taking away other people's freedom. If you violate putting another god before God, you're going to kill your baby at the altar of Moloch. You know, if you steal, you're stealing from someone else. If you covet, you're destroying yourself. You're literally destroying yourself because you're longing for something that isn't yours, right? You commit adultery.
Mm-hmm.
You've destroyed yourself, your wife, and whoever you're screwing around with. That's the thing, is God's law is the most freeing thing that we can do. And it just, people don't realize that, recognize it, you know. And what the other thing too about morality, which I think is hilarious, and we talked about it before the show, is they're just stealing our worldview, and it's a diet version of it. I mean, it really is. It's just a manipulated form of morality, because if you don't believe in God, what's right or wrong?
Mm-hmm. We're just stardust, and they say it like that's a beautiful thing. But it's really a depressing thing. We're just atoms.
It's an absurd
in a universe without meaning and purpose.
It's the most absurd, stupid thing to say too. You're stardust based on what? Can you please show me where I'm stardust? Show me that biologically. You can't. It's a faith. You have faith in star, the universe. I have faith.
Yeah, the only science that goes along with that is that we're mostly carbon, and most of the.
So is the whole universe.
Yeah.
Does that mean that everything's made from a
Exactly.
star?
That's what their point is.
Oh, right? Okay. So gotcha.
Yeah. But that doesn't make you a beautiful thing like the stars.
No.
That just makes the stars pointless, you pointless, the universe pointless.
Well, that's the whole point.
And everything meaningless. Well, they try to make. There's some who try to make the pointlessness and meaninglessness of the universe a freeing thing. Because you can just do whatever you want.
But you can't.
But you're miserable doing just whatever you want.
I know.
You're completely miserable because you have no purpose, you have no meaning in your life.
What's funny is,
and
go ahead.
Well, and the horrible truth is that someday you're going to find that there was a purpose and a meaning to the universe, and you freaking failed it big time, and you're gonna have to suffer the consequences of it for all eternity.
Yep.
And we don't want that for you. The God of the universe doesn't want that for you. That's why he sent his son. That's why Jesus Christ, the name of Jesus Christ, is known throughout the world. Not completely yet, but someday. And there's a reckoning. You have to reckon with him. You have to reconcile with him. You have to deal with what he brought to the table. And it'll either happen now, when you have a say in the matter, or it'll happen later, when every knee bows and every tongue confesses that Jesus Christ is Lord, whether they want to or not. And I wouldn't wait till later if I were you.
No.
Later is not the optimal time. The optimal time is now.
Well, it was yesterday, but yeah, sure.
True. Yeah.
No. I just had a mind-blowing epiphany when you said that. So, how Romans talks about, not Romans, but Psalms talks about the stars declare the stars declare the God of the universe.
Mm-hmm.
Basically declares there's a creation. Creation declares a creator.
Mm-hmm.
Colossians and John are very clear that Christ created everything. All things are held together in the mind of Christ. In the beginning was the Word was God, and the Word was with God. Doesn't everybody technically know Jesus Christ? That's crazy to me. Think about that. It's an ipso facto. Okay, I get it, but I just had one of those mind moments, and I'm just spitballing it. I haven't thought that one through, but that just blew me away a little bit, man. I just had a little brain spiritual aneurysm. Like, it just popped. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It's because I don't have my crack pipe from Biden. So that's what it is. Sorry. But anyway, no. But seriously, you hit it on the nose. I mean, we all need Jesus. You know what? You want to fix your drug problem? It's Jesus. You want to fix your soul problem? It's Jesus, which is ultimately the number one problem. You want to fix your anger at the perceived toxic masculinity that's just everywhere. It's Jesus. The systematic racism that doesn't exist. Jesus. The reality is we all hold idols. The first two commandments are, you have no other God before me, and you're not going to make idols. And we just do that every single day. That's what we do. We put other things above God, and that's the necessity for Jesus Christ. And I think it's super important that people understand that and grasp that. That's why we can laugh in this stupid world, because me and Matt know that truth, and we follow Jesus Christ. We've acknowledged Jesus Christ as our Lord, and we've turned from our sins, and that's the name of the game, man. So, Matt, final thoughts, man. What do you got today, broski?
Today in Bible study, we talked about skepticism.
Ooh.
And it's a tough one, because the response to not frantic, but really hardcore skepticism. The skepticism that will never be satisfied, right? Cuts both ways, right? Because it's like, what amount, the response is, what amount of evidence will will suffice for you.
None
you know?
will.
Yeah. And you know, for what amount of evidence would get you to believe in Christ? None. What amount of evidence would get me to renounce Christ? None. The difference
That's why I'm a
is
presuppositionalist, but yeah. Sorry, go ahead.
the difference is that there is a lot of compelling evidence on our side. You know,
Sure.
the historicity of the Bible. You know, eyewitness accounts in the Bible, outside of the Bible. Just the logical reasoning surrounding everything. You know, I mean, it just all ends up coming on our side.
Yeah.
You know, so
But it's still not going to change an unrepentant heart. You could give.
no, it won't.
You can give everybody. I
It
mean,
won't.
because you're right. There's an obscene amount of evidence for Jesus Christ, but you're never going to change an unrepentant heart. Because at the end of the day, people love sin
Sure.
more than they love God. You know. But go ahead.
Of course, but I mean, that being said, it has though. Like, okay, okay. In reality, nothing we do changes an unrepentant heart. It's God that changes an unrepentant
I totally
heart,
agree.
right?
That's why I'm a Calvinist light. Just kidding.
So-
I'm kidding. I'm an in-betweener. I'm agnostic, but yeah, keep going.
I know. And Calvinism goes further than that.
It goes. Hey, listen.
I'll leave it right
listen.
there. I'll leave it right there.
Listen. I just trust God, bro. But I love you, man. I'm just busting your chops. I threw you off track.
God changes an unrepentant
Yes.
heart, but
Yes.
he uses all manner of things. So
100%.
for some people, it is evidence. you
Sure.
know? I mean, just look at Lee Strobel. And,
look at the Bible.
you know,
Look at the Bible. He walked on water. Oh, geez. Truly, this is the
Yeah.
Son of Man. Nebuchadnezzar took him 3 times to figure out that, oh yeah, Yahweh's God. He saw
Mhm.
he saw Daniel in the lion's den. He saw 3
Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego in the furnace.
Hananiah, Mishael, and Azariah.
Azariah, Mishael. Yes. Yeah. I know.
Kudos to our
I
pastor
agree.
for saying that correctly all the time, by the way. I keep forgetting to give him love for that. But yeah, I mean, listen, I'm definitely not. And then the coup de grace for Nebuchadnezzar was he had to get turned into a beast, and that's the nice way
For years.
for years. You know, that's the nice way of putting it. If you actually read what he got turned into, it smells very Raphaim, but you know, that's another conversation for another time. That's a little bit beyond what's up.
Mm.
But it took seeing Christ in a furnace, lions subdued, and him turning into a beast to finally come to Christ, which is evidence. It totally makes sense. Now, you know, I'm not against evidence by any means. I think that at the end of the day, there's you know, you see in other parts of the Bible too, right? You see, you know, freaking what's amazing is like Jesus brought people alive from the dead. Okay.
Mhm.
He brought Lazarus from death, literal death. And there was a plot immediately to kill Jesus and kill Lazarus. Like that was the straw that broke the camel's back. Was this dude's bringing people back from the dead? Like for real. You know, not a little girl sleeping for a little bit of time. Okay. You know, now she was dead. Jesus, you know, said, oh, she's just sleeping. This dude's like wrapped, mummified in a tomb.
Yeah, it's been 3 days. He's stinking.
Stinks. And this dude calls him out of the grave. And he comes out. Like that's what always blows me away about the gospel is they never plot to really kill Jesus until Lazarus is risen from the grave. Think about that. They're like, this guy's got to go. He's bringing dead people back, you know? And what's even creepier, I think in Luke talks about that they had a hit out for Lazarus too. Like they're like, we gotta kill this guy. Like he's evidence, you know. We gotta kill the evidence.
Yeah.
But I think that's what's amazing about God. To your point, he leaves.
That cemented his threat.
Oh yeah.
You know.
But
and they can talk about all they talked all they wanted about it being blasphemy and blah blah blah.
sure,
But ultimately, at the end of the day, he was a threat to their power and control.
like all governments,
Because he's the truth, and the truth always is a threat to power and control.
it's like honking trucks, man. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, no, listen, I feel you. But no, there's tons of evidence. I mean, I'll never discount evidence. I think that it's always going to take God to create faith in people. You know, like what's standing out to me in Matthew, this will be my final thought. Christ first, like the first time in the Bible that you hear Christ was amazed. Now, obviously, nothing gets past God. Nothing gets past the Son of Man. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
But the wording that Christ was amazed was a Gentile and was a Roman citizen. So like the very guy that the Jews wanted to kill and overthrow, the type of people that Christ, that they thought that the Messiah was going to destroy and kick out of Israel, was really the first person that amazed Jesus at his faith. Because he comes up and says, listen, my daughter's dead, or she's very sick, and only you can heal her. And he literally, Jesus is like, I haven't seen such faith in all of Israel. Like, what a kick in the nuts if you're a Jew and you hear Messiah say that about you, which one, as a Gentile, gives me hope. Like, praise God. He saved us, you know what I mean? But like, that's just mind-blowing to think about, that you would think that the real faith is going to come from your peoples, your tribe. And it just blows up tribalism immediately, because this guy's an outsider. He's a Roman. He's an oppressor. He's the oppressor. He's that evil white guy. Right? Yeah. Think about it. He's just that evil white guy coming to oppress me. And the savior of the world was amazed by his faith. And you're just sitting there like, this is insane, man. That's crazy. And that really just gives me hope, because that's the kind of faith that God can spur on in people. It's not coming from himself. That's not like sitting there thinking like, you know, he's been worshiping these pantheon of gods forever, and he just hears about this carpenter from Nazareth. There's nothing good comes from Nazareth, just going around and he's like healing people. But he's like, you know what? Screw the pantheon, screw these other false gods, these fallen angels that are posing as gods. I'm going to follow the guy who I see. He hasn't seen him come back to life. He hasn't seen him walk on water. He saw him make a lame guy walk, maybe, if that. And he's like, if he can do that, he can save my daughter. It's unbelievable. What a good God we serve. Sorry, that was my moment of reflection from the Matthew study I'm going through. There's 28 books there are 28 chapters in the book of Matthew, 28 days in February. I'm trying to plug through and stay on track, but this is good stuff, man. It's good stuff. So,
and I think it truly was amazing.
Yeah.
Because I think that Jesus, during his time on earth, had restrained some of his attributes, you know? Like, he'd call upon the Father to allow him, you know, foresight into the future, like he did with the woman at the well, or into the past, you know, to his omniscience. But being completely omniscient doesn't necessarily, you know, that it kind of puts a hindrance on having the full human experience. You know?
I would disagree with you, but I understand where you're coming from on that. I think that I think knowing, even if you know, like, here's the thing, like, I'll give you, like,
yeah, knowing is different from experience.
Exactly. I think that's the difference.
Part of the experience is not knowing. Part of the experience of humanity is not knowing.
Yeah, I can see that, man. That's the conundrum. Fully God, fully man.
Yeah,
we can't even know it.
Okay. Yeah. Just because you're fully God, like, we have this idea of God that I think is missed, that like he can't restrain himself. Like he can't. He just is all these things, and he can't. He must do all the things that he's able to do. But like, that's not true. Why isn't he still creating then? Why did he rest on the seventh day? He definitely has the ability to not partake of his own, of his own abilities, just like we do.
Hey, I'm not even going to pretend to even know. I'm just going by what the word says, brother. But hey, that's my final thought, man.
Well, it says he shared in our...
He did.
He shared in our sufferings. So
hey.
I think finite knowledge of what is to come and what has been is part of that suffering.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I listen. I just go by what the word says, bro. That's all I can do. That's all I can do, bro.
Shut up.
That's all I can do.
Shut up.
I love you.
I don't want to think.
Hey, listen. It's beyond me, bro. That's all I gotta say. It's beyond me. I just trust. Trust and obey, for there's no other way. Sorry.
All right.
Oh, Dusty, I missed you. Dusty! I'm glad I get to look at your sexy face the whole time, so I'm going to sign off doing the same thing Dusty's doing right now.
I appreciate him looking at me. So
oh, yeah. He's looking right at you. Look, I'm going to look at you, too.
Yeah. Oh. On that note, you've been watching Plausible Foolishness, the home of the Rube Empire, where the people are free, the taxes are voluntary, and we serve freshly roasted liberal logic every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday at 9:30 p.m. right here on twitch.tv/Plausible Foolishness, YouTube, Facebook Live, Rumble, anywhere you can get a podcast, Instagram, and minds.com. Peace out. God bless. Good night. See you tomorrow.
Catch me walking through your hood just like I'm Kimberly Classic. It's time to face it, we fighting now for the next generation. Stop being basic, we at war, battle for all creation. The truth can align with any lie, no matter how you would place it. The son of man's like scatter flock, the kids people like pass a lot. Who preach the truth with no mask and not spread fear and hate for an aftershock. Millions lost cause the faith is shook, the pandemic threw a major hook. Just like the punch that Nader took, the sign alone is what made you look. For a place you can run to, safe from devils that will hunt you. Say you're not ready but he's on you, so please shine bright like the sun do. Ooh, wondering why many churches are closed, illiberal policies going unopposed. Stand up in faith and the vanity goes, no progress I'm working but he already knows.
I can't find the words to say what I feel, what I discern. When the devil tries to persuade me, God will work wonders. When I can't find the words to say what I feel, what I discern. When the devil tries to persuade me, God will work wonders.
Yeah, here come that devil again. Must be a lib always meddling. He knows I ain't gon' let him in. I ain't a beta male, I ain't feminine. I got the medicine, I don't play. I ain't better than I won't sway. I lack melanin, I'm an elephant. I'ma tell the truth with no shame. Y'all think I'ma just fold. I'ma fight the fight, I won't roll. I'ma light the light and my light is bright, cause I know that I'm not alone. I'm in my zone, he's on the throne. I'm not confused, he's on my dome. I ain't no rat, ain't no Democrat. I am a God, he never will cap, okay? Mask off and stop fearing. Grab a job and move your rear end. Take a look at my past, I was freaking. In fact, got my foot on the gas and he's steering. Whoa. Now when the devil talking, please don't run. Snatch that coward by the throat and tell him I'm with the sun. He'll leave you alone for a little, but he coming for you. Just put your faith in him, cause God could work wonders for you, okay?
And I can't find the words to say what I feel, what I discern. When the devil tries to persuade me, God will work wonders. When I can't find the words to say what I feel, what I discern. When the devil tries to persuade me, God will work wonders.
Yeah. He's working wonders now. No wonder it's working out. Previously tongue-tied when it comes time to speak up for what I deserve. Back when I couldn't find the words. In this life I learned if I observe, then I'll discern the lies they hide behind the curtains. In the circus to define the word that's in verse where I find the courage. And when I am heard, I'll be sure